Looking forward to midweek racing in the Eastern Cape, and we'll kick off at 12 on Tuesday with the first of 8 races, once again on the Poly surface. The first race will be the Welcome to Fairview Maiden Juvenile Plate. They'll be racing over the 1200 metre trip, and here I would say that number 1, A Grade Marmalade, is a horse that stands out as far as form is concerned. So he will be my first selection, and I'm tipping him to beat the likes of his stable companion, and that is number 5, Senior Duke, and then include the likes of number 6, Zack Pack Assassin. So A Grade Marmalade, well, he's had the 4 runs to date, all placed in all 4, but his last 3 runs have actually been runner-up. He's finished second in all of them. He is knocking at the door, and I think he is going to be the horse to beat. I do think the way that his stable companion Senior Duke has been improving highlights that once again we should expect better from him, and considering in his last he ran 4th, that could see him really start to challenge here, so I think he should finish in the first 3. Zack Pack Assassin, also a runner placing last time out in the way of 3rd spot. The yard think he can do even better. I do see him in the mix as well. Race 2, an all-to-come maiden plate, again over the 1200 metre trip. Here my numbers are 7, 1 and 2. So the horse that I go with for the win is Africa's Rock. There was a lot to like about his debut run. He was backed into favourite on that occasion, found good support, but greenness caught him out. There was a surface change that day. He was carded to race on turf. He ended up in the deep end on Poly and on the bend for the first time. He still coped admirably to run second, quarter of a length off of winging it, and now more familiar with the Poly, I do think he's going to be the horse to beat. I tip him to beat number 1, Own Your Fate, who is a newcomer to the Eastern Cape representing the Gavin Smith yard. This horse's last run on the Poly surface in KwaZulu-Natal, which was his first Poly effort, was a very, very encouraging one, running second to Greenhill, and a repeat of that is going to see him in the thick of things. Yard are expecting a good run. Number 2, El Kasim, has got a form update. On Friday, the Captain Al Gelding ran 3rd behind his stable companion, Silver Celebrity. He is super consistent, is always in the placings, and should be so once again here. Race 3 is a Fillies and Mares 70 handicap, and here we stay over the 1200 metre trip. First 3 selections, 2, 8 and 9. So my first pick is Mesmerizing Moon, and her form really does speak for itself. She has had the 6 starts for a win and 5 placings. She's not once missed the first 4, and once again yard feel that things didn't entirely go her way last time out. She was doing her best work late, and they expect her even closer here. So I think Mesmerizing Moon has got a valid shot at victory. She will have to give respect to the likes of numbers 8 and 9. Both are Smith runners in the way of Abia and Orford's Flash. Abia is a horse that last time out ran 3rd behind Natural Jade over the 1200 metre trip as well, and is in a good position to get a look in here. Orford's Flash, horse number 9, will be having her first PE start as well as her first start on the Poly. She's certainly got the Cape form to make her a huge runner here, perhaps the only concern being that the 1200 metres could be a little bit sharp. In that respect, the yard have slapped the scoops on. That could help her, and she must be respected. Race 4 is also a maiden plate, and here they'll be racing over the mile trip. 3, 2, 4 are my horses of interest. Number 3 is Prince Alf, and this fellow will be making his local debut for the Han Janse van Vuuren yard, relocating from the Highveld with really competitive maiden form. He will be trying the Poly for the first time, but being by Duke of Marmalade, you have to feel that will be a positive for him, and the yard do say he's shown good work on the sand back home. They are expecting a good run. Draw neatly in gate 2, I think he looks really hard to beat. For second, number 2, Hikaru, I do agree that last run was very, very disappointing. I do think he's capable of a lot better. If you look to his penultimate over a touch shorter, where he ran a good 3rd to first among equals, he really should be enjoying the mile. And I think best draw a line through his last, expect better, and I do think he'll be in the mix. Number 4 is King's Fort, and this fellow is definitely coming along the right way as he steps up in distance. He had his first crack at the mile last time out and ran 2nd to Dirty Martini. A repeat of that is going to see him earning again. Race 5, merit rated 74 handicap, 2,200, so we're up to the extended trip here. 2, 7 and 3 will be my first 3 selections. I think Reef Knot ran a cracker last time out behind Hit for 6, going down only half a length. And I do think that even though she got a few points there for that place, she was a bit unlucky. in that outing, and I do think she can go one better here, and she does have a chance at reversing the form with Hit for 6, so I will tip her to win. In second is Hit for 6 himself. He is Dynasty Gelding, and last time out he really bounced back well after a break to record his second career victory. It was a very positive performance, and he wasn't harshly dealt with for the win, going up only 3 points. I think he can be there again. For third, we go back to horse number 3. That is Crystal Stream from the Jean Nel yard. The yard is in really good form, and all the horses have been running very competitive races of late. Crystal Stream, in her last was also a runner-up behind Hit for 6 in that third spot. She's not without chance of getting closer, but I do think it would be disappointing if she didn't find the first 3, and she does have the advantage of the pole position draw. So Hit for 6 could have a bit of trouble from the horses that he's meeting again in the way of Crystal Stream and Reef Knot. I do think, though, this field looks very competitive. Race 6, Fillies and Mares 68 handicap, and slightly back in trip to the 1900 metre distance here. 10, 1 and 11 are the first 3 selections for me. Number 10, Purple and Gold. I know she was well beaten last time out behind Mifford 2, whom she bumps again, and even though better off at the weights on paper, that still suggests she's held, but I do think that she came from a long way back from a terrible draw, and the draw here of 5 could make all the difference. Last time out, drawn 15 out of 16. At one stage she was stone last. In fact, 400 out she was stone last, and she still ran third. She passed a multitude of horses. She did a cracking job, and I do think on that run and drawn a lot better here, you have to consider her. No disrespect to number 1, Mifford 2. She's had 2 runs. Her last 2 runs, I say, have resulted in 2 wins, and she's done a stellar job. She has been pushed right up the merit ratings. As a result, as a 3-year-old here, will jump as top weight and drawn widest of all, 16 out of 16. So she does have a tough task, but she had very positive comments from both jockey and trainer post-race last time. They do think she's a cut above, so don't be dismissing her. Number 11 is Soho Spirit. She's also one of those that have bumped Mifford 2 before, and with the weight turnaround becomes a runner, especially considering last time out she wasn't disgraced, taking on a lot stronger in the Derby Plate when finishing 6th behind Heartbreak Hotel, and is down in class here, so I do think we can see her get a lot closer as well. Race 7 will see us revert to the sprinting trip of 1,000 metres for a merit-rated 68 handicap. Here the first 3 for me are 2, 7 and 1. Mojito Magic, well, he was a good winner last time out. His recent form, as you can see, is super consistent and capable. It does mean that he has moved up the rating slightly, and there are a couple of horses here that he is worse off at the weights too, but I still think he's got some forward momentum, and that the handicapper may not have just pegged him entirely back just yet. So holding form as he is, I think he's going to be a big runner again. Horse number 7 is Elegant General, and I do think although he faded out last time out after a pacey start, it's probably a run to give him the benefit of the doubt on, as it was over 1,300, and he is very much a distance specialist, a 5-time winner, all of them having been recorded over today's 1,000 metre trip. So I think expect a lot better from this fellow, and perhaps don't read too much into that last run. Number 1, Iron Henry, well, he's got it up against him, having his post-maiden run up in class here, a lot more to do, but didn't he leave the maidens full of running, beating Captain Calico by 6 lengths, and that was over today's track and trip. So drawn neatly again here, although top weight, I think Iron Henry should be regarded. Race 8, last of the day, merit-rated 67 handicap, and we round up over the 1,300 metre trip. Here my numbers to finish up are 5, 3 and 6. Horse number 5 is Atkinson Grimshaw. You can't at all read into his last race, which, considering everything that went wrong, wasn't actually a bad effort, running 6 1/4 lengths of Soleil. On that occasion, jockey Marco van Rensburg's stirrup leather snapped, and he was unable to assist him whatsoever. So take that run out, and I do think we'll see Atkinson Grimshaw a lot closer. I do think that his stable companion Water Cracker is very much a runner against stronger last time out, rounding up in 3rd behind Regimental, who's been very well performed of late. It was a run full of merit. He is at best on Polly, and I do think we'll see him in the fray late. Horse number 6 is where I go for 3rd, and that is I Love Mumbo. The Mumbo in Seattle mare is another horse who absolutely shines on Polly. She's been really showing some good finishes since back from a break, and I do think we'll see her in the placings again. The PA gets underway at 5-1 over the 1200 meter trip, and as far as that's concerned, I'll start off with the bang, and I'll start off with the banker, and I am going to bank number 7, Africa's Rock. I thought a lot of his debut and definitely caught out that day by greenness. He'll come on with the experience, he'll be a lot more ready for this, and I think he's going to run a very big race. So I do think that number 7, Africa's Rock, is a safe banker. On to race 3. I put in the 2 selections in the second leg of the PA, and that is 2, 8 and 9. So Mesmerizing Moon, Abia and Orford's Flash are all horses I really think should go in as far as the PA is concerned. Another banker for leg 3 of the PA, I think Prince Elf, which is horse number 3, is going to be a very interesting addition to the PE racing ranks, stepping out for the first time for Johan Janssen van Vuuren. He might be debuting on the Poly, but he races off good high-felt form, and being by Duke of Marmalade, he should take very positively to the surface. So all things considered, I do think he looks the horse to beat. PA numbers of 2, 3 and 7 must definitely go into the pick 6 in leg 3. I then add in 1 and 9. Arian Express is horse number 1. Since introduced to some distance, she's really been an absolute stalwart, a steady, consistent performer, and not without chance at finding the winner's box here. Horse number 9, which is Imperious Duke, looks to be on the up again. I do think that gives him a bit of a shout here, and perhaps safer to include. Again, PA selections are horses that must go in as far as leg 4 of the pick 6 is concerned, and that is 1, 10 and 11. I will boost them with 2, 5 and 7. That is Mary Lee. Close to my heart is number 5, a horse that's always there and thereabouts, and she's going to pop up soon for win number 5. And number 7, La Duchesse, is also a horse on recent form that's not without chance at finding the winner's box. Penultimate race on the card is the merit rated 68 handicap, and here the PA numbers 1, 2 and 7, certain inclusions, and also then add to those numbers with 3 and 10. Pluviophile for me, definitely a runner from draw 1, and also horse number 10, which is Spanish Fort, comes in here a little bit under sufferance, but still a lot better off at the weights to a horse like Mojito Magic, who is certainly a runner here, and he could use that to his favor. Last of the afternoon, 3, 5 and 6, my first 3 selections, certainly pick 6 inclusions, and I go very wide. The last race is always quite hard, and here 4, 7, 8, 10 and 11 are horses I've decided to bolster with. Joint Effort, last definitely not his best, but his penultimate promised so much more, and if he pops up with that, he could show some cheek here. Number 7, Zigzag, also gives things away at the start, but if all goes his way, could also have upset potential. Number 8, Mousy on Over, is better than his last, which was against Stronger. Number 10, For Luck's Sake, is never a horse to dismiss on the Poly. And number 11, Wang Gang Midnight, is coming along in leaps and bounds since being gelded. The yard are expecting a good run, and that could really see him get in on the action. The jackpot gets underway in race 4. First leg of the first jackpot at 2:05, and here the first leg of the jackpot is the only difference as far as the pick 6 is concerned, the inner legs of the pick 6. I do bolster Prince Elf here with the likes of number 2, Hikaru. I do think that Hikaru is a lot better than his last run suggests, and if I had to look for one horse that could upset Prince Elf here, this horse on his previous Cape form and on his local PE debut when finishing 3rd behind First Among Equals could just be that. So I have decided to play it safe, and as far as the jackpot is concerned, I will cover Prince Elf with number 2, Hikaru. The remaining legs of the jackpot, leg 2 in race 5, leg 3 in race 6, and leg 4 in race 7, go along the same lines as the pick 6 as far as those numbers are concerned. My best bet is race 1, number 1, A grade Marmalade. I do think that he is poised to strike. He's overdue for the win, and he looks to stand out for me as far as best bet is concerned. And my value bet will be a little bit later in the day in the way of race 6, number 10, Purple and Gold from the Derek Rag Yard. Looking forward to racing with you on Tuesday, and I'll see you then.